What if the biggest limitations in your business, in your income, or even in your mindset are not external? What if they're subconscious? If you fail to plant desires in your subconscious mind, it will feed upon the thoughts which reach it as the result of your neglect. Repetition, emotion, visualization, those are all critical to programming your subconscious mind because your subconscious mind accepts what it hears often, especially if it's a voice that it trusts, which is yours. What you impress consistently on your subconscious mind becomes your identity. And what you identify with is what you create. You are today where your thoughts have brought you, and you're going to be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. Where you are right now is because your thoughts have gotten you there. And if you use those same thoughts, they're going to get you in the same place later on. So you've got to make a change. All right, welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. And we're on day 12, which is the 11th principle on the 13 principles of Think and Grow Rich that we've been doing. I hope you're enjoying, and I hope you're having an amazing week. Here's a really powerful thought for you. What if the biggest limitations in your business, in your income, or even in your mindset are not external? What if they're subconscious? You can have the best strategies, a clear vision, even the right mentors, people that are helping you. But if your internal software, your belief system is outdated, you're going to keep crashing again and again and again. How many of you can relate to that? How many feel like you're going through those same cycles in your life and things just are not going your way? Well, Napoleon Hill understood this. That's why he said, the subconscious mind will not remain idle. If you fail to plant desires in your subconscious mind, it will feed upon the thoughts which reach it as the result of your neglect. That's what I want to talk to you about here today, the power of the subconscious mind, because it's so important for you to realize that whether you're consciously or subconsciously working your subconscious mind, you are programming yourself. So today we're going to break down how to reprogram the one thing that controls 95% of your decisions, your subconscious mind. So thanks for being with me here today. I hope if you haven't already and this is your first time, you'll hit subscribe and you'll follow the episodes. Don't miss any. And we'd like to ask you to share this episode with anyone that you know that can benefit from it. My goal with the mastermind is to inspire, motivate, and educate, but really it's about giving you the association you need. So let's get right into it today. In Think and Grow Rich, Hill refers to the subconscious mind as the connecting link between your thoughts, your body, your faith, and your infinite intelligence. It's your mental operating system. And just like the phone, needs regular software updates, maybe sometimes more than we would like, right? Um, Even though your phone needs those software updates and upgrades to perform its best, so does your mind. Scientists like Dr. Bruce Lipton, author of The Biology of Belief, have proven that most of your behaviors, your emotions, and your decisions are made on autopilot, hardwired from your childhood experiences, past failures, and internalized fears. This is something that is happening whether you're conscious of it or not. It's all stuff that's being made, your decisions being made on autopilot, hardwired, and so if you're constantly sabotaging your goals or procrastinating or second guessing yourself, it's not just discipline, it's programming. So you've got to learn to take charge of your subconscious mind because you've got to, in fact, what I do is I try to program myself to see success, to see the things that I want to see so that reticular activating system will kick into effect. Remember, with 60,000 thoughts a day, like you cannot sort through the information without running a subconscious program. And so let's talk about it and let's really get real around this. Maybe let's kind of back up a minute. Maybe you've set some big goals and you felt stuck or anxious every time you get close to those goals, or you've raised your prices and you've launched an offer, and then you start doubting your worth and whether or not the offer is good. Or let's say you've said things like "I'm not ready," or "It's not perfect yet," or "I'm not that kind of person." Just things that you find yourself thinking and saying automatically. Those are the subconscious scripts playing in the background. And the subconscious doesn't filter, it just obeys. That belief just happens. That's why repetition and emotional association and visualization are so critical. Let me say that again. Repetition, like frequency and repetition of something to program the subconscious, is so important. But emotional association is also important. We've heard many times that you can repeat things enough, but if you don't have that emotion and conviction tied to it, it doesn't stick. And visualization will help you to do that as well. So repetition, emotion, visualization, those are all critical to programming your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind accepts what it hears often, especially if it's a voice that it trusts, which is yours. So when you think about it, athletes use this principle, actors use it, millionaires and mindset coaches like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, they all teach the same thing. What you impress consistently on your subconscious mind becomes your identity. And what you identify with is what you create. So remember, what you program your mind to be, what you program through repetition, consistency, and emotion, you will begin to accept as your identity. And what you identify with, you create. So you've got to learn to train your mind for success and for the things that you're looking to have. What you focus on grows. We talk about that. And it's because, your subconscious is what you use to cut through the noise. So let's talk about how you can upgrade your subconscious software and start doing that. Here's what I want you to do this week. Write down one limiting belief that's been running in your life. And this is going to take you putting a little bit of time and energy into this, because your limiting beliefs, your subconscious programmings that are not serving you, are the ones you need to work on. So, for example, it might be, I'm not good with money, or, I'm not, well, let's take that one for example. I'm not good with money. Rewrite that to be, I'm a powerful steward of wealth and creating money with value. And instead of saying things like, I'm not always confident, say things like, I am a confident, driven entrepreneur, or, insert whatever you are, and I move and act accordingly. What you need to do is you need to write down the limiting belief that you're struggling with, and then create a new belief. And so creating a daily affirmation, possibly, that you can say out loud with emotion every morning and night, that'll help you to reinforce it. And then take 5 minutes a day and see yourself living in alignment with that belief. So listen to what I'm saying here. Write it down, rewrite it in a positive way, create an affirmation, and then visualize yourself. Feel the emotions, create a mental movie. The subconscious mind responds to feeling and repetition. It's things like professional athletes do. They see themselves winning. They see themselves going through the motions in a perfect way, and they program their subconscious minds to do that. Now, here's another tip you can use if you want. You've probably heard this a little bit as well. You could add binaural beats or ambient focus music to your routine. This will help to shift your brain in a more receptive alpha or theta state. This is really ideal for reprogramming or programming your subconscious mind. That's why it comes up in so many different programs and things that you hear of. So let's just kind of wrap this up here on this topic of subconscious mind. You are today where your thoughts have brought you, and you're going to be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. That's something that James Allen said. Think about that for a minute. Where you are right now is because your thoughts have gotten you there. And if you use those same thoughts, they're going to get you in the same place later on. So you've got to make a change. It starts with thoughts you don't even realize you're thinking. Those are the thoughts that are the worst. You're not broken. You're just running on outdated beliefs, things that don't serve you. And the good news is you can rewrite them. This week, choose one of those beliefs to rewrite, because the moment you upgrade your subconscious, your upgrade will affect everything in your life. The subconscious mind is the key. It's that gateway to the actual activity that's going to change your life. And remember, I've said this many times, it's never too late to start living the life that you're meant to live. But you've got to recognize what's holding you back, and you got to recognize what you can do differently. And if you do this and you're specific about it and you plan and execute a plan, you will make changes. And so the subconscious mind is something that I believe is going to be one of those keys. So let's just do a real quick recap. We've been going through these 13 principles. We had desire, faith, autosuggestion, specialized knowledge, imagination, organized planning, decisions, persistence, and then the mastermind, sex transmutation. And I'll tell you what, this subconscious mind is one of those ones that you do not realize it's affecting you as much as you can. So do me a favor and spend some time on it. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the brain, and then we'll close up this series by talking about the very last principle, which we're going to talk to you about this week. So have an amazing day. I hope you have a great week and you're off to a great start, and I look forward to talking with you more tomorrow.